Good morning everybody, and welcome to our daily video golf blog. Today is Saturday, April 20th, and on Saturdays we do short game. And today I'm not going to talk so much about technique, but something that you can really improve your scoring with. Find out in your area which pros have either a TrackMan or a FlightScope, and go and take a TrackMan or FlightScope lesson. And recently I was giving a lesson to a student using the FlightScope for his pitching, and we were trying to calculate how far he hit each pitch shot. For those of you who've been to the school, I teach the 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock backswing to control various distances. But he explained to me that at his driving range, when he comes to golf school, I've got flags out there at those distances. But when he goes home, the driving range is too busy for him to walk out and put targets. So he'd like to know how far these shots go. So I had him hitting, but what I noticed when we were looking at the results was he was hitting, his technique was actually pretty good, and his shots were pretty good, and he was hitting them, we were measuring the distance, but I noticed that the majority of his shots finished just slightly left of the target. So he was pulling a lot of his little pitch shots. So I had a choice here. I could try and fix his pitching technique, which looked fine to me, and he's not the type of golfer that practices a lot. So what I decided to do was say to him, okay, I'm not going to change anything in your pitching motion, but each time you go to the golf course and you have one of these pitches, just aim slightly to the right. So I got him to aim about 5 yards to the right each time. And I got an email from him yesterday, and he was ecstatic because he hit those shots all much closer to the hole. His proximity to the hole had improved dramatically, and his score had come down dramatically because of that. So sometimes, particularly if you're a golfer that doesn't practice a lot, when you go and find an instructor that has a FlightScope, go and hit some shots and look at your grouping compared to the target, and you'll find the balls will either be, the general grouping will either be a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right. So then the important part is controlling the distance. So you control the distance by the length of your backswing. But the direction, if you have a tendency to pull them a little bit, just aim a little bit more to the right. If you have a tendency to push them a little bit, aim a little bit more to the left. That way, particularly if you're playing a little pitch shot, and there's a bunker on the right hand side, so instead of aiming to the left and then pulling it and missing the green on the left, you can say, okay, I know that my tendency is to pull it, I'll just aim a little bit to the right, and you'll pull it back on line. You'll lower your scores without changing your swing.